What is going on, guys? This is Elijah here for Football Recaps, and today I am back with another college football prediction video, and we're going to be talking about the number one ranked team, the Georgia Bulldogs, who are 12-0 and 8-0 in the Conference East, and of course, we have Alabama, as per usual, who got lucky last night against the 6-5 Auburn team, who struggled to be anything good on offense with a hurt leg from Finley, who is the backup quarterback, who Bo Nix was injured, done for the year, and they almost lost in overtime to Alabama, who's 11-1 to 7-1 in the Conference of West, and they are your West Division champs, and of course Georgia is your East Division champs. And man, this game has to mean so much for Georgia. The past 3 seasons for Georgia Bulldogs, they've always lost to, of course, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, this year is a little different. I honestly think that Georgia could potentially finally beat and overcome Alabama. Yes, I know that Georgia seems like they have the better team than Alabama, but somehow, some way, Georgia always collapses under pressure, either in the conference championship or even in the college football playoffs. And it happens every single year the past 3 seasons. Somehow, some way, Georgia finds a way to choke it and lose, and it's awful. But Alabama, they've struggled a lot lately for some odd reason on offense, and their defense always plays great, but their offense just struggles. Even though Bryce Young is still Bryce Young, and he's had a great year this year, but yesterday's game was just very odd, and of course Auburn almost beat Alabama in overtime. It was just wild. They held them to 10 points, or actually they held them 0 points all the way throughout the fourth quarter, and they scored at the late to tie it up to 10-10. It was crazy. It was a low-scoring game, and so yeah, this game was crazy. So let's look. They almost lost to Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas is pretty good, not getting me wrong, but LSU, they almost lost to LSU. They lost to Texas A&M, which Arkansas beat Texas A&M, so that was very strange. Georgia, of course, they just basically dismantled everybody the whole year, and I guess they only struggled against Tennessee for like a short period of time, and they just dismantled Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech, I'm sorry, was just bad. It was bad. All right, so let's go ahead and go through the match predictor. This is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, so it's, of course, in the Dome at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, so it's going to be a very, very epic game to watch. So, of course, it has Georgia with the 66.6. That needs to change. I do not like that percentage right there. And, of course, they have Alabama at 33.4%. So let's go ahead and go through the season leaders. And, of course, team stats. I usually like to base my predictions off of team stats as well. And then their pick center has Georgia -6. So, yeah. So, yeah, there you go. All right, season leaders. Stetson Bennett, who came in to replace JT Barrett, or JT Daniels, my bad. Oof. JT Daniels, who got injured earlier in the season. He's done a great job for he's a good, reliable backup. He has a really good scrambling ability, and he can make passes when needed. Samir White also playing great this year as well. So Stetson Bennett has 119 through 183 completions to attempts, 1,985 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Bryce Young has done a great job this year, and that dude is just a beast. It didn't really seem like it in the first game against Miami, but of course they came along and dominated with 288 through 418 completions to his attempts. That's kind of crazy. And then 3,901 yards passing, 40 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions, which is pretty incredible to me, to say at least. All right, so Samir White has 128 carries, 691 rushing yards, and 10 touchdowns. Brian Robinson for Alabama, he has 207 carries, 1,016 rushing yards. He has done a great job, of course, for filling in for Najee Harris, who went to the NFL. And, of course, every year it seems like Alabama always has really, really talented running backs. All right, he has also 14 touchdowns as well. Brock Bowers for UGA has 37 receptions, 652 yards of receiving, and, of course, and 10 touchdowns. Pretty cool, or pretty incredible. And, of course, Jameson Williams done a fantastic job, 61 receptions. Only 61 receptions. That's insane, with 1,261 yards and 13 touchdowns. So that is incredible stat right there as well. All right, lastly, we got the team stats. we have Georgia 40.7 on offense, and of course Alabama 44.4. And then the defense, that's where it's always has to lie, is the defense. Georgia has only allowed less than 10 points per game, which is crazy. It was 6.9 points per game on defense, which is insane. And of course, Alabama, as usual, 19.9 points per allowed per game. So that's just insane. Total yards, 442.3 to Georgia, 501.6 to Alabama. Total yards on passing, 240.3 to Georgia, and of course, 344.1 to Alabama. Our yards of rushing, we have 202.1 to Alabama, or to Georgia, my bad, and 157.5 to Alabama. It's kind of crazy because, like, usually Alabama is more of a rushing type team, but this year they've done really well in the passing game. Bryce Young has done a great job, and of course, Georgia likes to run the ball a lot as well. So yeah, there's that. Our yards allowed on defense, both teams have done a great job, less than 300 yards. So 230.4 to 294.3 from Georgia to Alabama. Passing yards allowed, 151.5 for Georgia, and of course 213.6 with Alabama. So they've struggled a little bit on secondary as well. So Georgia has done a great job, and it's just crazy to see. All right, so yards of rushing allowed, 78.9 is just wild. And Alabama, of course, 80.7. I know that everybody thinks that Georgia is going to win, and I think that they could win, and I think also Alabama could win. And this has to be the year for Georgia to finally overcome Alabama, and I think their defense will actually play really well against Bryce Young, and I think that Bryce Young is also going to play very well against Georgia's defense, of course, Brian Robinson and all that. But I think that going along with the pick center, I think, though, that Georgia will win by 10 points. In my opinion, I think they're going to kick a field goal at the end to seal the deal versus Alabama in the conference championship. This is not biased. I'm not a Georgia fan. I'm not an Alabama fan. But I strongly think and feel that Georgia has a better team this year on defense. And yes, I know they always somehow collapse and fail against Alabama, but this has to be the year, and I think they're going to win by 10 points this year. So guys, let me know what you guys think, who's going to win this game, and this is going to be a very epic game, and this has to matter for Alabama too, because if they lose this game, they may not be in the college football playoffs, even if they have 2 losses. They shouldn't be in the college football playoffs, even if they have 2 losses. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. And thank you guys, Georgia fans and Alabama fans, for always coming to this channel for just comments and just opinions. And it's been a fun year for football. And it's crazy that it's over. And I'm sad that the regular season is come to a close. All right, guys. Y'all have a great weekend. And see you guys later. Peace out.